Casey Porter here, Dodgers Daily. Today we have a very, very, very special guest, Blake Treinen, World Series champion. How's that sound, Blake? Pretty good?
Pretty cool, yeah.
Yeah. He joins Dodgers Daily. First question, I'm going to jump right in. Got to take us right back to the clinching game last year, the World Series championship, all of that.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is a lot of us were a little bit in shock, but not surprised with how it unfolded with the way that we performed. I know a lot of people try to harp on the opposite side. I mean, baseball is a tough sport. It's tough to demand perfection, and that's what the playoffs really kind of expose. And really the credit should go to our players for hustling every ball out, like grinding out every out, grinding out every at-bat. And, you know, we had the opportunity, you know, Doc made a very bold choice to, you know, go to Kopi early, and then when we took the lead and got the tied it up and got the 5 runs back, it's like, hey, now we need to honor the players and give them a chance to win this game. And having a chance to go in, I think it was to finish the 6th. Told myself I needed to, you know, do the best I could to, you know, have quick outs to stretch as long as I could. I know I wouldn't more than likely be able to throw the rest of the game, but you never know in the playoffs with an off day after that. If it was quick and I felt good and they felt comfortable, you never know how long they'd run you out there. So really my goal was to at least give them 1+, and ended up being 2+. And, you know, Doc honoring me with the opportunity to finish that inning when there was only 1 out, runners on first and second. That's not an easy thing to do and trust in that situation, especially when the media was putting so much pressure on him unfairly too.
Right,
I mean,
absolutely.
Just a quick note is, like, you know, the Astros stole a World Series from him, but there's this unwritten pressure on him that you know, he hasn't won the big game in a full season. And I'm like, this guy's been in how many World Series now? And we're going to say this guy isn't getting it done. At some point, the player's got to play. And so really, he should have had 2 World Series under his belt going into that World Series, and I think we don't talk about that enough, that really the man has done a job and had something taken from him, which really to this day has never been addressed fully to the liking of fans and players. But moving forward, that game was really special to me because Doc trusted me. I find out Freddie trusted me and said, let's give Blake that chance to finish this inning, and we need to trust him here. And then to share that moment with Will to get the last out going into the 9th, that is the ultimate blessing of my career. And I've had God has given me so much favor and grace in this game and experiences, and through 3 different organizations, great organizations.
Sure, yeah.
And so for me to have the opportunity to have that and add it to it was great.
Yeah. So what was it like when Walker threw the last pitch and you knew you were a World Series champion?
Well, the thing is crazy. I mean, New York's such a great team. It doesn't matter what part of the lineup you're in. I think we were all a little bit on edge because nothing against Walker. It's just Yankee Stadium. I mean, you could make a great pitch, get a pop fly, and if it's pulled down the line, a routine out is a homer, you know, or you jam somebody and they push it the other way and it's a homer. It's like, so 1 run in Yankee Stadium is never a comfortable feeling. So we're sitting there and we're like, hey, Walker's coming in. He's been electric in the playoffs, and we like our chances. So when Walker got the last out, it was a good deal for us. And I mean, you always get a chance to take a deep breath and relieve, because when you're going through this moment in the playoffs, you kind of go to a different place mentally, you know, trying to stay narrow and focused, don't allow the outside distractions to come in. Really the only people I'm talking to are my wife and kids, my parents, my brother, and to a minimum really with extended family, because I just want to stay locked in on the game.
Yeah, so the sweeper looks good right now. Fastball looks good. So talk about how your stuff feels and maybe the ramp-up time.
You know, my stuff feels pretty good. There's still some eradication with my delivery. Last night I felt like I was rushing a bit and flying open. I was yanking my fastballs glove side. The slider I thought was really good. I just got to give myself more room on the plate and get more swings from the righties. I feel like I threw some good ones, but without striking it, I can't really anticipate swings. But shapes are good. Trying to tighten up the patterns a little bit, and that's going to come. I try not to focus on the characteristics, but more or less the execution. And if I can execute and it feels good out of hand, people will look at the data and be like, "Oh, it's right where you want to be. Great job."
Right.
You know, like, data's great, but I don't want to be a stat rat and be what's the term, paralysis by analysis. Yeah. So a little bit old school goes a long way.
Stat rat. I am going to steal that. I'm not going to give you credit.
You've never heard stat rat?
I have not,
man,
actually.
that's old school.
Yeah,
I'm surprised.
okay. So most important question of the day, no doubt about it. I got to ask you about your Jacks and your time there at South Dakota State.
Is there a connection with you to South Dakota?
No, I just love the
okay.
program. They can't play OSU this year, so.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So South Dakota State, I had a great time. Our head coach, Richie Bryce.
Yeah.
Had a couple pitching coaches, Tyler Oakes and Jake Angier. Jake Angier, I think, is now in New Mexico.
Yeah, Richie went to KU after.
He did, and now he's. So it's funny. The other assistant coach we had was Ryan Overland, and now Ryan Overland's the head coach of Fresno State. Richie's the assistant, and they made it to the supers or went to regionals at UCLA. So they've all. I mean, the coaching tree kind of coming out of there is kind of neat to see. Tyler Oakes is now the head coach at North Dakota State, and they play some pretty. They made it to regionals and could have easily. I mean, they were a couple outs, couple good innings away from getting out of that regional.
Yeah.
So they played really well. South Dakota State is great. I think when you first go there, coming from a southern-ish, I grew up in Kansas, so it's like kind of the heart of the country. You're not used to like the tundra-esque weather.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it gets cold and bitter, but you learn to embrace it. You know, people make your experience, and I think no matter what situations are external, as long as you've got a close group of friends and quality people around, and kind of have an outlook like the Lord's blessed us with, is be grateful for what we have and stop focusing on the negatives. I mean, be great, like focus on what you do have that is good. It changes things. And so after my first year, I really appreciated South Dakota State a lot more.
Yeah.
Got a lot of good lifelong friends. We do a fantasy football thing every year together. It's great. It's cool to see where the football program's going, the baseball program. Got a little bit of work to do, but they're increasing their facilities. They're bringing some players in. It's hard with NIL, to do things. So you got to find a way to stay active and recruit across the board. I mean, and keep talent locally. So I mean, you start focusing on the local talent. You keep the local talent and then expand where you need to. And so hopefully that's part of the process. And moving forward they can continue. But that Summit League is getting tough now. So they've got a heavy burden ahead of them to compete in that league, and they're more than capable because when I was there, we were part of something that was built before us, and then we tried to carry it on, and they're building on that legacy. So they've got some work to do, and they've had some good arms go through there. But like I said, NIL, when you have a mid-major program and you have players stand out, why wouldn't you go somewhere where you're going to make $50, $7,500, $1,000? Freaking nuts. It is. But I think, hopefully people choose a standard of honoring those who've honored them to stay where they've gotten their first opportunity, So, it's a great school, man. I can't speak anything bad of it. People were great. The coaches were great. So, the town's great.
One last fun question here. You mentioned Summit League. That's the league South Dakota State's in.
Yep.
So the bus rides, longer in the Summit League or longer in the minor leagues?
Way longer in the Summit. Yeah. I wasn't on this one. They drove 23 hours to Washington State.
Yeah.
Got stuck in a blizzard on the way back.
Oh,
we
Lord.
drove 26 hours or 25 hours to southern Utah.
Whoa.
They drove to Shreveport, Louisiana. Drove to Murray State. Drove to Colorado, then over to Arkansas and back up. I mean, you get sleeping bags and lay across the aisle.
Absolutely.
It's not ideal, but you do what you have to do. I mean, it's kind of fun coming in, being the underdog, and makes you tougher. A lot of people who get pampered at these major D1s come to minor league baseball and like, what is this?
Yeah, right.
These facilities aren't even, I mean, as nice as they can be, they don't touch what the major D1s offer.
Right.
And so I will always say kids who've had it harder and have had less facilities and pampering or know what it's like to grind and get through the hard days. And because hard days when the facilities are great really aren't that hard. You can sit in your cushy leather chair and have your steak dinner later. And minor leagues are prepared from the mid-majors.
Yeah. And then you get off the bus in the Summit League and it's either like 4 degrees outside or like 400 degrees. There's never any in between, right?
No, it's either really humid because in the spring you don't necessarily have a ton of heat until late, but it's either really humid or really cold.
Yeah. Okay. Blake Treinen, what an honor. Thank you so much.
No, thank you. I appreciate it.
All right.
Yep.